wars got you bummed out? Yeah, I get it. A new build might be for you. In this video, we're going to be talking about 5 pros and cons when it comes to buying a new build property. As an expert in new construction, new build process, I am going to tell you 5 pros and cons when it comes to buying a new construction home. Pro number 1, no bidding wars. You don't have to worry about competing with other offers when it comes to buying a house. You don't have to go $15,000 over, $5,000 over, $100,000 over. None of that. No bidding wars. So that's one of the great pros, which then leads me to a con when it comes to new construction. Now, with a new construction, there is no negotiation typically. Some builders do allow for some negotiation, but by and large, when it comes to new construction, new build properties, it's more of a first come, first serve at the price that you're going to purchase that home. So yes, no bidding wars. Pro. Con, no negotiation, which isn't always a bad thing, right? You know exactly coming in what you're going to be paying for that property. Now, pro number 2 is you do get a home warranty program, typically offered by the home builder. That home warranty program is phenomenal because it allows you to find things throughout the year in your house that maybe you didn't find during your final walkthrough, like tile out of place or anything like that. And during that 12-month period, the builder will dispatch somebody out and they'll come and fix those defects for you during that 12-month period. I also recommend that folks get a home warranty during that 12-month period to then maximize that home warranty that the builder is offering to you. So inspection before, inspection again. So 2 inspections, which is kind of a defect as well because you might be paying for 2 home inspections to maximize that home warranty or the builder warranties that they're offering. And just because it's brand new does not mean defect free. Warranty is over. So that way you can capture all of the potential defects that are in the house. Some of the defects that I have found when going through a new construction or new build: plumbing, things like loose toilets, the sewer line going from the home to the county or the city sewer line, roof shingles, siding and stones falling off the front of the home. Don't fret, don't freak out. That's exactly why you have a home warranty. But it is important to know home warranty is a positive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's defect free. And that goes for an existing house too. If you are one of the first or early buyers in a new build community or with a new build in a community, you have the opportunity to see incredible equity gains the moment that you move into your property. So when you purchase a property, this is actually quite beautiful. So listen, are you listening? Okay, because I'm going to drop some pretty awesome truth bomb on you right now. With the new construction, when you sign your contract, so at the point of the contract, you are buying at X price. So let's just use nice round numbers. So if you purchase a house at $550,000, you sign your contract for $550,000. Typically with a builder over a period of time, sometimes it's a month, sometimes it's every 2 or 3 houses that are sold, they increase the base price of that home. So from the time of your contract price, and could be dirt start, so it's a fresh plot of land, or it could be at framing. From that point in time when you purchase that house all the way to move-in day, you have the opportunity to capture all of those natural equity gains from the incremental price increases within that period of time, which is pretty awesome. But on the flip side, when you already are living in a house and you're waiting for the builders to finish building out the community, or you're late to the community. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Just kidding. But if you are later to the community, you typically don't see the same amount of equity gains, and you might even see a leveling out until that builder finishes. So for example, in the community that I live in, I was one of the later ones that came into the community. So with the builder that I was working with, they were still building, finishing out the community. So they were still selling a couple of lots, a couple of homes. So existing homes in this particular community were competing with a brand new home. So in the market that we're in right now in 2022, where you see a huge supply demand issue creating this seller's market, sometimes if there's an existing spec home with the builder, that's a better option for a buyer because they can get the same or similar home in the community that they want to be in at a standard purchase price. So pretty awesome there. But what that does is it limits your equity gain. So the minute that this builder stopped building in this particular community, equity just skyrocketed. It was crazy that it just jumped. It was insane. Like within a period of a month, some of the same lots saw 100 to 150,000 equity gains. That, of course, is also coupled with this crazy market, but it just goes to show what can happen once they stop building. So you want to be early in on the process so that you can capture all of those equity gains. Make sense? Cool. When you buy a new build, there is less maintenance. Yes, we already talked about there's some potential defects that might be in the house, but your furnace is newer. All of your furnace, your air conditioning is newer, your plumbing, your sinks, your stove, and a lot of it comes with home warranties as well. So you're saving a lot of money in not having to replace those items quicker on in the process. So as long as you are a good steward of your home and you do your quarterly or monthly maintenance, whatever that might be for all the different areas of your home, it really is low maintenance and low cost when you purchase a new build, which is pretty amazing because then you can funnel costs of not having to buy a new stove or a new furnace to buying new furniture, new art, painting your walls, doing all of the great things that you want to do when you move into a new place, making it your own. On the flip side, there is some initial investment when you purchase a home in a new build community. Oftentimes, new build communities are in what's called a master plan community with a homeowners association or HOA. And those have rules and covenants that say you have to do things like put up a fence, or you might have to landscape the front or back yards. You might have to put trees. So because of that, and it's fresh land, you're not going to have sod or grass, you're not going to have landscaping, and you're not going to have a fence. So if you need those things, builders don't always provide those incentives. Now, every builder is a little bit different, every community is a little bit different, but by and large, you are going to have to invest in that. So when you're purchasing a new build, you're going to want to budget for that particular amount. So if it's landscaping, you have to think, are you just going to want to put sod? Did the builder add a deck? So you want to add a deck to the property if it's not already there. All of those things are costs that will be incurred when you move into a brand new community in a brand new home. And in addition to all of those other pros, there is one option or one incentive that is very unique to a new build community. A lot of builders will offer financing incentives if you use their preferred lender or their preferred title or both. So some of the larger builders have a sister company or a company within their corporate umbrella of companies that is a title company or a finance company or a mortgage company. And the builders, the options vary. There is one particular builder here in the Denver metro area. If you use their lender, you get a full finished basement for free for using that lender. That's a huge incentive. And so it could save you thousands of dollars by not having, and time and hassle, by not having to get your basement finished later on. So you move into your house and you have a brand new basement. Other incentives could be things like X amount off your closing costs, or they could give you free backyard landscaping. Every builder and every community is going to offer some various different incentives, but pretty much every builder offers some financial incentive for them or for you to use their financing company or their preferred lenders. One of the reasons why they do that, well, there's a couple of reasons why they do that, but one of the reasons that they might do something like that is they want to control the timelines. So a lot of times in a new build contract, it's to your advantage to use their preferred vendors or lenders, because in the event there's any kind of delays because of financing, so let's say the lender or the underwriter is slow to respond, or there is a long wait list for an appraisal to come back to secure that financing. If you are using their preferred lender, they typically won't come to the buyer to cover the loss of revenue for those period of days. So what that means, in a lot of the new build contracts, it says there's a clause, and this number is going to vary, but there typically is a clause that says if there is a delay that is outside of the builder's control, then you, the buyer, are going to pay a daily rate for each day that delay occurs. And they're not low rates. I've seen them range anywhere from $150 to $500. And I think I even saw one with a semi-custom builder that was like $1,000 for every day that there was a delay. So that's both a pro and a con, right? So that leads to the con side of using the lender's financial incentives. So yes, you are going to get some of those protections. Yes, you are going to get some of those incentives. However, a lot of times, or many times, the preferred lender, because they're offering this incentive, they try to capture it somewhere on the back end. So yes, they're giving you this $5,000 on the front end, but there might be some additional closing costs, and it might be more expensive to do that. The appraisal might be more expensive, or they might not be able to be competitive on interest rates because the number of lenders or the number of loan options are very limited for X builder's preferred lender. So though you get a lot of those incentives, there can be some negatives when it comes to using their preferred lender. Usually what a lot of my clients have done is they leverage the preferred lender for that particular builder so that they can capture the incentives. What I recommend for a lot of my clients to do is to look at what the lender or the builder preferred lender is providing, as well as your lender, if you have one already, are providing, and go top to bottom and understand what your costs are going to be, how much it's going to be, and is it truly worth it to use the preferred lender. It isn't always worth it, and that's kind of interesting, and it's really important for you to know your numbers, and don't be afraid to ask your lender those questions. I have a lot of clients, what they typically will do is they will use the preferred lender so they can take advantage of the incentives. Like in that example of a free finished basement, their lender could not compete with that. So they took advantage of that. And then they went back after a couple of months. Remember, they captured some of that equity because they were smart and bought early in that community. And so then they went back to their lender that they have a relationship with, know and trust. And they said, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Lender, I want you to tell me, would it be worth it to refinance right now? And a lot of people do end up refinancing. They don't take any money out, but there are a lot of times they refinance to get a lower rate. There's a lot of reasons why, and I'm not a lender, so if you need one, let me know and I can connect you with one of my trusted partners. But it's really important for you to understand the lender. So pro, yes, you do get all of those incentives. Con, it might be expensive. Not always, but it might be. So it's really important for you to understand those numbers. So now that you know all of the pros and cons, you probably want to know more. Let's connect so we can figure out what builder and what community are going to work best for you. Estrella Gallegos, eXp Realty, your North Star Real Estate.